Hi guys, my name is Dexter from 4pixos Studio. This is CORONATOR English course and I'm going to review student works and show you how to improve them in aesthetic aspect. So these are renderings from Roberto Caal, student of CORONATOR English 15. He did some nice rendering here, but to me it's lacking of depth and some renders have problems on composition as you can see here. So I'm going to try to fix that and explore some other angles in his scenes. Let's do it. So for this renders, we can see the lighting is pretty nice, but I think the camera angles it has some problem, and I'm going to use the tools and shift option to adjust the framing so it can look more balanced between the ceiling and the ground. You just need to adjust the shift, and that is a very nice option in terms of adjusting composition. And as you can see, I'm trying some post-production with the help of Corona frame buffer. Usually I will try with different loads, and each rendering I will try with a different load because um, it will be very different from image to image. So you the only way is to browsing through all the loops and find the one that's suit most for your particular situation. Okay, some curves, and we're ready to render out the image. For quicker render, I will lower the resolution, lower some setting here. Okay, as you can see, and the displacement. Okay. With a newer version of Corona, you can increase the side pixel of the displacement. You don't lose the quality very much, but you can speed up the rendering time a lot. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna save it here. Okay, check some minor adjustment. Okay. Now let's move on with this camera. Okay, and this is a typical mistake of the student when they are trying to take a close-up shot. Remember that the closer you get to the objects, the higher the focal length should be. As you can see, I raised the focal length to 50 millimeters, and we have a better framing, like a better view of the image. It looks not so distorted like before. It like more balanced, and you can also try to reframe the image. Okay, and also we can try with different lighting direction because I want to emphasize on the main subject in this render. Yeah, here we go. We use sunlight to spot on the camera, the Canon camera in this render, and we can see some separation from the subject to the environment surrounding. So we have something main and other things. Otherwise the image will look pretty flat like it was before. And I'm trying some crop, okay, because I want the image to be more about the main subject, and we can lose other unnecessary things to focus on the subject. Yeah. Okay, I use a quick um, fill with content aware to remove the unwanted objects. So move on with the other scenes. Okay, this is a pretty nice render. It's just lacking a little bit of depth, so I'm gonna play with the line mix, and I usually turn up on the lines and turn on the lines one after another to see which is important and which is not. The key here is to bring up the contrast. Okay. So as you can see, the main problems here is the Corona IES. I want it to not be so evenly distributed like it is now, but more focused on some important areas. As you can see, for now it is still look very um, evenly distributed. First of all, I will try another HDI for the environment lighting. This one is from CG Source, and it is a nice HDI with overcast lighting. I hope that it will bring more contrast to the image. Okay, so that is how I set up the HDI lighting. When toggle on the other lights and work on the environment lighting. So I'm going to lower the gamma to 0.75, bring up the exposure. The gamma here will affect the contrast, and it will have to, you know, push the highlights and the contrast in the lighting. And I'm going to play with the offset in the HDI to rotate the um, environment around, okay, to find a nice angle. And I think it does look better now with more contrast. And I'm going to turn on the other lights one by one. Some sort of lights, we can see that we should remove them. The problem and the common mistake when people place lights in the scene is they kind of turn on all the lights when actually it doesn't necessarily have to turn on all of them like that. You need a good ambient lighting and environment lighting, and then you will add some um, point lights where you think that it should. As you can see, I create a new corner lines with the new IS profile, and I place it at the corner of the sofa in the area that I think it should be light up, and that's it. I don't need to um, lit up all the scenes equally and evenly. I just need to light up some area that I think are important in the image, and that will bring more contrast and attention to the key area in the scenes and make the overall image uh, has a better sense of depth, and yeah, it doesn't look flat anymore. Okay, so that is how I set up lighting. The way I set up the lighting, I usually focus on the contrast and the key area, and avoid uh, making the lighting flat and evenly in all areas. Like in a movie, you have to have a main character. If all the character in the movie are the same level, then I don't know what kind of movie that. You need something to uh, pay attention to. You need something to remember about that image, and you can use lighting to emphasize that. Okay, we're ready to render the final image. Not final image actually, because I use a super low quality, but all I want for this test is some super quick render and a quality that is enough to review. And with this setting, I think it only takes like 2 minutes to finish, even faster than that. I think 1 minute. Okay, finish that. Now I want to try a different lighting, not overcast anymore, but this one is bright and vibrant sunlight. One of my favorites is 1735 Clear Sky New Sun from uh, Busy Sky. Okay, looks like it is too bright, so I'm gonna adjust the gamma and exposure. um, Gamma is like contrast and exposure is like brightness. It's not like 100% like that, but that is easier to understand when you handle the HDI. Okay, so focus on the environment lighting first, like always, and when that is set up um, nicely, then you start to move on the other lines, step by step and one by one, because you don't want to mess up with all the lines at the same time, and that is not a um, smart way to deal with lighting. Okay, I kind of like that that lighting that we have now from the HDI. We have some kind of warm and subtle lighting after the curtain. Yeah, and it brings some feelings, I guess, warm and and vibrant. Turn on the lights one by one to see which is necessary and which is not. Okay. Yeah, as you can see in this scenario, we don't need that spotlight anymore. And I'm going to try with this look, my favorite look actually. Okay, once again, review on the light source. Here we go. Now coming up with some close-up shots. As you can see, this is the original camera angles, and it's the same mistake of or wide angle for close-up shot, which is not suitable. You need some um, tele lens for this kind of um, close-up shot. Basically, higher focal length like 50 millimeters or 85 millimeters. With higher focal length, you will see less distortion, and yeah, you should also change the camera angle. I think this is better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is also a nice shot which I will try later. So you always have to define whether which is the main subject in your image and what is this image all about. In the original renderings from Roberto, there's way too much of thing in the shot, and it is hard to um, know which is the main objects. What should we pay attention to, and what should we remember about that image. But this way, we can really tell the story, really tell the main subject. Okay. Always ask yourself which is the key, which is the hero, which is the main subject in your rendering. If you cannot tell, then the image um, is most likely to be failed. Okay, I did try to crop it out for better. Okay, move on with different angles. At this time, I raise the focal length to 85. Okay, we can use the camera clipping, which is very useful in this situation. Okay. And another thing is, remember to put the main subject not right in the middle of the image, but rather than that, you can relate it to something like the rule of thirds, which is a nicer way to present the main subject or the main area. And you can do that by adjusting the camera, or usually I use the tilt and shift option. Okay, another close-up shot. Now we focus on the watch here. Okay, I align the target of the camera to the watch. Okay, and this shot is all about the watch, so let's see how we can review the watch in the best way. First, I try with different camera direction, but trying to layer the image of foreground, midground, and background. This way we will create a nice sense of depth in the image. And I use the statue here as the foreground, the watch as the midground, and the sofa as the background. And we're gonna use the depth of field and the lighting to separate them. Nice. As you can see, the depth of field here really helps uh, to focus on the main subject. And we have two ways of set up the focal point. And in this case, I prefer the value, and I adjust the value in a way that we can see the details of the watch. This is a very nice and detailed model of the watch. You can see really beautiful details. And the camera angle, the composition helps to reveal that, to focus on the watch and leave everything else as the secondary. Here we go. Very nice details, which is hard to focus in the original rendering. Okay, I turn off the depth of field and I try to add some displacement on the statue. Hopefully that will help me to get maybe some bokeh later, because if the surface of the text statue um, too flat, then it's hard to see the bokeh when we render the image. Okay. Here we go. We can see some sort of bokeh on statue, not very clearly, but it's okay. We can go further by adding some light source to make the bokeh more visible, but that's enough. Okay, let's compare the original and the after renderings, the before and after actually. Keep in mind that this is just a quick look and walkover. I'm just pointing out some direction that can lead to better composition, better lighting, and more impressive image overall. As you can see, the composition is the foundation of good image, and um, people have some very common mistake about that. So I really hope that you guys learned something from this review today about composition, about the key subject, and how to emphasize that. I'll see you guys later. Happy rendering.